Welcome to the 5th National Animal Rights Day. As we go about our lives, taking care of our families, trying to make ends meet, enjoying our friends and loved ones, and live a good, meaningful life, we cause immense suffering to billions of animals all around us. We call them animals, treat them as separate, inferior, unimportant, negligible, usable objects. Every minute of every day, we cage, mutilate, kill more than 100,000 animals in the United States alone. For various purposes, we use their bodies and secretions for our food. We use their skin for our clothes. We use their eyes, skin, and other body parts to test our products on. Our clothes. We use their bones, hair, and blood to make household products. We use them dead or alive for our entertainment, and the list goes on. We have built factory farms, fur farms, slaughterhouses, breeding facilities, rendering facilities, testing labs, circuses, rodeos, racing tracks, and hunting grounds, just for that. And then we try to do good in the world and live a good life with our family and friends. In front of you, you can see some of these animals taken from the dark, filthy chambers of these facilities so that you could see them with your own eyes. They are not props from some Hollywood film. They are real, and they represent the millions of other animals who are languishing as we speak in these cages, alone, scared, beaten, injured, mutilated, destroyed spiritually and physically. Now for the individual animal stories. Anonymous pig number 13 was born in a crammed and filthy factory farm. And at the age of 1 week old, his teeth, testicles, and tail were cut off with metal cutters without any painkillers or anesthetics. He was taken away from his mother, whom he never saw again, at the age of 2 weeks, and put in a dark metal cage with the other piglets. After being pumped with growth hormones for 3 months, he died from starvation and physical exhaustion inside a transport truck on the way to the slaughterhouse. Anonymous pig number 335 was also born in a factory farm, and she too was forcefully mutilated at the age of 1 week old. She was taken away from her mother right after she was born and put in a special cage for breeding sows. At the age of 2 months old, she was raped with a metal rod in order to get her pregnant and add her to the factory line of breeding sows. She died at the age of 5 months old from her bruises with a little fetus in her tiny womb. Anonymous pig number 74 was born in a backyard live meat market and was orphaned at age 3 days old when his mother and father were taken to the back and slaughtered on the spot to satisfy a customer's order. At the age of 2.5 months old, after being labeled unsuitable for sale due to the stress wounds he has developed in his filthy age, he was denied any food or water and died 2 days later from dehydration and starvation. Anonymous hens numbers 39, 45, 52, and 21 were born inside a tiny battery cage in a chicken factory farm warehouse that never saw the light of day. They spent their entire short lives inside that battery cage, crammed together with a dozen other hens. When they were 5 days old, their beaks were seared off with a hot metal blade without any painkillers or anesthetics. They were thrown back into the cage and at the age of 3 months old died from being crushed against the rusty metal bars of the cage by the weight of other stressed hens in it. Anonymous chicken number 91 was born in a backyard chicken coop, and due to being a male and therefore useless for the operation, was thrown together with tens of other male chicks into a garbage bag and left to die from suffocation. He somehow managed to stay alive for 3 days, and when the bag was emptied by a garbage collection employee, he was taken in a transport truck to another backyard operation, where he died at the age of 3 months from physical stress and exhaustion. Anonymous raccoons, possums, squirrels, and birds were born on the busy streets of Los Angeles and were orphaned as babies when their parents were killed by cars on the road. They managed to survive on the streets for several months until they too were killed by passing cars while looking for food in order to survive. Pero, the dog, and the cats Kira, Suki, and Baby were born to unknown parents, most probably on the streets, and at very young ages found themselves alone in the world. After a while, Pero and Kira found their way to a shelter for orphaned and abandoned animals, where after spending an unknown period of time in cages, they were finally adopted by human guardians. They died of old age and sickness. Suki and Baby lived on the streets for a while until they too were shown kindness they hadn't known before. After being taken in, they eventually died from sickness as well. We invite you to come closer and stand in front of these beings. See yourself in them. See your children in them. See the spark of life that once flickered in these lifeless bodies. Hear the voice that once was uttered from their throats. Imagine the joy to be alive that filled these tiny hearts for fleeting moments. And feel. As a wise woman said, there is really no such thing as the voiceless. There are only the deliberately silenced or the preferably unheard. There is really no such thing as us and the animals. There are only living beings searching for happiness on this small and fragile planet. Our planet and theirs too.